The rise of Amenemhat I, architect of a new dawn 12th Dynasty, 1991 to 1802 before Common Era. In the swirling sands of ancient Egypt, where the golden sun kissed the Nile and the pyramids stood tall against the horizon, a figure emerged who would redefine the very fabric of the Egyptian kingdom. His name was Amenemhat I, the founder of the 12th Dynasty. He was a visionary leader whose determination would lift Egypt from the shadows of a crumbling past and set it on a path of prosperity and strength. This is the story of a pharaoh who not only restored Egypt's greatness, but also set the stage for one of the most remarkable periods in the nation's long and storied history. A kingdom in peril, the state of Egypt before Amenemhat I. Before the rise of Amenemhat I, Egypt was teetering on the edge of collapse. The 11th dynasty had seen the reunification of the country under the rule of Amenemhat II, a powerful pharaoh who had managed to bring a semblance of order after years of civil strife. However, after his death, the strength of his successors faltered. The central authority began to crumble, and the once unified nation found itself unraveling at the seams. Egypt was rife with internal strife, economic instability, and threats from foreign invaders who sensed the weakening power of the once mighty kingdom. Amid this chaos, Amenemhat I emerged as a beacon of hope. Though the details of his early life are shrouded in mystery, it is widely believed that he rose from humble beginnings, perhaps serving as a vizier under the last ruler of the 11th dynasty. His rapid ascent to power suggests a man of exceptional ambition, intellect, and strategic prowess. Some whisper that his rise was marked by a cunning seizure of power, while others believe that he was chosen by divine providence to lead Egypt out of darkness and into a new era of stability and prosperity. The question of his origins adds to the allure of his story. Was Amenemhat I a commoner who defied the odds to become king? Or was he of noble blood, with a rightful claim to the throne? The truth may never be known, but what is clear is that when Amenemhat I took the throne, he did so with a singular purpose: to restore Egypt to its former glory. The inauguration of a new era, establishing intrigue and consolidating power. In approximately 1991, before the Common Era, Amenemhat I ascended to the throne and immediately set about consolidating his power. He knew that in order to unify a fractured nation, he needed to create a new center of power that symbolized the dawn of a new era. To this end, he established a new capital, intrigue, whose exact location remains one of the great mysteries of ancient Egypt. Scholars believe it was near the modern-day city of Lisht, but the sands of time have concealed its true location. The founding of intrigue was not merely a practical decision. It was a bold and symbolic gesture. By moving the capital away from Thebes, the heart of the previous dynasty, Amenemhat I distanced himself from the failures of the past and signaled the beginning of a new chapter in Egypt's history. Intrigue was more than just a city. It was a statement of intent. Here, in this new seat of power, Amenemhat I would build the foundations of a dynasty that would endure for centuries. But the establishment of a new capital was only the beginning. Amenemhat I understood that to truly secure his reign, he needed to reassert the authority of the pharaoh over the entire kingdom. The power of the central government had waned, and many of the regional governors, or nomarchs, had become increasingly autonomous. Some were even powerful enough to challenge the authority of the throne. To address this, Amenemhat I embarked on a series of military campaigns to subdue rebellious nomes and to secure Egypt's borders against foreign threats. These campaigns were highly successful, and they served to solidify his control over the kingdom, bringing peace and stability to the land. A new vision for Egypt, reforms and innovations. Amenemhat I was not just a warrior king. He was a visionary leader with a grand plan for Egypt's future. He knew that the prosperity of his kingdom depended on more than just military might. It required strong governance, economic stability, and the support of the people. To achieve this, he initiated a series of far-reaching reforms that would strengthen the central government and lay the groundwork for a period of unprecedented growth and stability. One of Amenemhat I's most significant reforms was the reorganization of the administration. He was well aware that the power of the nomarchs posed a serious threat to the stability of the kingdom. To counter this, he appointed loyal officials to key positions in the government and established a system of checks and balances to prevent any one individual or group from accumulating too much power. This new bureaucratic system, with its layers of oversight and accountability, became the backbone of the 12th dynasty and would endure for centuries as a model of efficient governance. In addition to these administrative reforms, Amenemhat I also implemented economic policies that stimulated growth and prosperity throughout the kingdom. He recognized that the key to Egypt's wealth lay in its fertile land, nourished by the life-giving waters of the Nile. To this end, he invested heavily in agricultural projects, including the construction of new irrigation systems and the reclamation of arid lands. These projects increased the amount of arable land and boosted food production, which in turn supported a growing population and a thriving economy. Under Amenemhat I's reign, Egypt's granaries were full, and its people enjoyed a level of prosperity that had not been seen for generations. The pharaoh's legacy in stone, monumental achievements. Amenemhat I was also a master builder, and his reign saw the construction of numerous temples, monuments, and pyramids that would serve as lasting symbols of his power and divine status. In ancient Egypt, the construction of monumental architecture was more than just an expression of wealth and power. It was a way for the pharaoh to assert his divine right to rule and to ensure his legacy for eternity. The most famous of these constructions is the Pyramid of Amenemhat I at Lisht. Though not as grand as the pyramids of the Old Kingdom, it was nonetheless an impressive feat of engineering, reflecting the renewed strength and ambition of the Egyptian state under his rule. The pyramid was part of a larger complex that included temples and smaller tombs for members of the royal family and high officials. The design of the pyramid complex was carefully planned to link Amenemhat I's reign with the grandeur of the Old Kingdom, while also establishing his own unique legacy. By choosing Lisht as the site for his pyramid, Amenemhat I anchored the new dynasty in the cultural and religious traditions of Egypt, while simultaneously looking forward to the future. The construction of his pyramid was also a statement of Amenemhat I's desire to be remembered as one of Egypt's great pharaohs. The pyramid's size, location, and design were all intended to convey a sense of power and permanence. It was a place where Amenemhat I could be venerated for generations to come, and where his spirit could dwell in eternal peace. The pyramid complex at Lisht stands as a testament to his reign, a symbol of the rebirth of Egypt under his leadership. The intrigue of the royal court, danger and deception. Despite his many accomplishments, Amenemhat I's reign was not without its challenges. The royal court, with its opulence and grandeur, was also a place of intrigue and danger, where alliances were constantly shifting and the line between friend and foe was often blurred. Amenemhat I was acutely aware of the threats to his rule, both from within and outside the palace walls. The court was a hotbed of conspiracy, and the pharaoh had to be ever vigilant to maintain his grip on power. One of the most famous anecdotes from Amenemhat I's reign is the tale of Sinew, a story that provides a glimpse into the life and times of the pharaoh. Sinew was a courtier who fled Egypt following the assassination of Amenemhat I, fearing for his life in the tumultuous aftermath. The tale, which is part adventure story and part political commentary, reveals the instability and intrigue that characterized the royal court during Amenemhat I's reign. Although the tale is fictional, it is believed to have been inspired by real events and reflects the anxieties and uncertainties of the time. The story of Sinew is particularly revealing of the tensions that existed within the royal court. It portrays a world where loyalty was often in short supply, and where even those closest to the pharaoh could not always be trusted. Sinew's flight from Egypt is a reminder of the precarious nature of power and the constant threat of betrayal that hung over the royal court. The tale also highlights the human side of Amenemhat I's reign, the fears, hopes, and struggles that defined his time on the throne. The question of succession, ensuring the continuity of power. As Amenemhat I grew older, the question of succession became increasingly pressing. In an effort to ensure a smooth transition of power, he appointed his son, Senusret I, as co-regent. This was a common practice in ancient Egypt, intended to prevent power struggles and to provide the new pharaoh with valuable experience in governance before assuming full control. The co-regency allowed Senusret I to gain the support of the people and the nobility, thereby securing the continuity of the dynasty. However, Amenemhat I's efforts to secure the throne for his son were not without controversy. There are indications that not everyone within the court supported the co-regency, and there may have been factions that opposed Senusret I's ascension. The existence of such opposition is suggested by the fact that Amenemhat I was eventually assassinated, an event that sent shockwaves through the kingdom and threatened to plunge Egypt back into chaos. The co-regency between Amenemhat I and Senusret I was a delicate balancing act. On one hand, it was a way to ensure that the transition of power would be smooth and uncontested. On the other hand, it created the potential for conflict within the court, as rival factions vied for influence and power. The tension surrounding the co-regency was a reflection of the broader uncertainties that characterized Amenemhat I's reign, a time of great ambition and achievement, but also of danger and intrigue. The shadow of assassination, a dramatic end. The assassination of Amenemhat I remains one of the most dramatic and mysterious episodes of his reign. The exact circumstances of his death are unknown, but it is widely believed that he was killed in a palace coup. The reasons for the assassination are also unclear, though it is likely that it was motivated by political rivalries and power struggles within the royal court. The assassination had a profound impact on Egypt. The sudden and violent death of the pharaoh created a power vacuum and raised fears of instability. However, thanks to the co-regency, Senusret I was able to swiftly take control and prevent the kingdom from descending into anarchy. He immediately embarked on a campaign to consolidate his power and to avenge his father's death, punishing those responsible for the assassination and reasserting his authority over the kingdom. The assassination of Amenemhat I is a reminder of the fragility of power, even for a ruler as strong and capable as he was. It also highlights the dangerous nature of life at the top of the political hierarchy in ancient Egypt, where betrayal could come from any quarter, and where even the most powerful figures were not immune to the machinations of their enemies. The enduring legacy of Amenemhat I, architect of the Middle Kingdom. Despite the tragic end to his reign, Amenemhat I's legacy endured long after his death. He is remembered as the founder of one of Egypt's most successful and stable dynasties, a ruler who brought order to a fractured land and laid the foundations for a golden age of prosperity and cultural flourishing. Amenemhat I's reforms and policies had a lasting impact on Egypt. His administrative and economic reforms strengthened the central government and ensured the stability of the kingdom for generations. His architectural achievements, particularly the construction of his pyramid and the establishment of Ichttai as the new capital, left an indelible mark on the landscape of Egypt. Furthermore, Amenemhat I's reign set the stage for the achievements of his successors, particularly his son, Senusret I, who would go on to become one of Egypt's greatest pharaohs. The 12th Dynasty, which Amenemhat I founded, would oversee a period of remarkable cultural and artistic development, often referred to as the Middle Kingdom, a time when Egypt once again became a dominant power in the ancient world. The legend of Amenemhat I, from king to myth. Over time, Amenemhat I became a legendary figure in Egyptian history, his life and reign the subject of stories and myths. He was remembered as a wise and just ruler, a king who cared deeply for his people and who worked tirelessly to ensure their well-being. His reputation as a reformer and builder endured, and his name was revered by future generations of Egyptians. One of the most enduring aspects of Amenemhat I's legacy is the Instruction of Amenemhat, a text attributed to the pharaoh that offers advice to his successors. Though the text was likely written by someone else, possibly during the reign of Senusret I, it reflects the values and principles that Amenemhat I sought to instill in his son and in the future rulers of Egypt. The instruction is a testament to Amenemhat I's wisdom and foresight, and it serves as a reminder of the importance of strong leadership and the responsibilities of kingship. The Instruction of Amenemhat is a remarkable document, not only because of its content but also because of what it reveals about the character of the pharaoh. It speaks of the challenges and dangers of ruling a great kingdom, the need for vigilance and wisdom, and the importance of maintaining order and justice. It is a text that has resonated through the ages, and it remains one of the most significant legacies of Amenemhat I's reign. Speculations and mysteries. The enigma of Amenemhat I. Despite the wealth of information we have about Amenemhat I, many aspects of his life and reign remain shrouded in mystery. The exact circumstances of his rise to power, the the reasons for his assassination, and the precise location of his capital, Ichtai, are all subjects of speculation and debate among historians and archaeologists. Some have suggested that Amenemhat may first have been of non-royal origin, possibly a commoner who rose to power through his abilities and ambition. Others believe that he may have had royal blood, possibly as a descendant of the 11th dynasty. The true nature of his relationship with his predecessor remains unclear, and it is possible that his rise to the throne was marked by conflict and intrigue. The mystery of Ichtai is particularly intriguing. Despite extensive searches, the exact location of the city has never been found, and it remains one of the great unsolved puzzles of ancient Egyptian history. Some scholars speculate that the city may lie beneath modern-day agricultural fields, while others believe it may be buried under the shifting sands of the desert. The discovery of Ichtai would undoubtedly shed new light on Amenemhat I's reign and provide valuable insights into the early years of the 12th dynasty. The pharaoh's place in history, a legacy of resilience and renewal. In the grand tapestry of Egyptian history, Amenemhat I occupies a pivotal place. His reign marked the beginning of a new era, one in which Egypt would once again rise to greatness. He was a ruler who understood the importance of strong leadership, effective governance, and the need to balance tradition with innovation. Amenemhat I's achievements laid the foundation for the Middle Kingdom, a period that would see some of the greatest cultural and artistic accomplishments in Egypt's long history. His legacy as a reformer, builder, and visionary leader continues to be celebrated, and his name is remembered as one of the most significant figures in the history of ancient Egypt. As we look back on the life and reign of Amenemhat I, we are reminded of the power of vision and determination. In a time of uncertainty and upheaval, he emerged as a beacon of hope, guiding Egypt through a period of transformation and setting the stage for a new chapter in the nation's story. His legacy is one of resilience, wisdom, and the enduring strength of the Egyptian civilization. Conclusion: Amenemhat I, the pharaoh who rebuilt Egypt. The story of Amenemhat I is one of triumph, intrigue, and enduring legacy. He emerged from the chaos of a crumbling kingdom, seizing the reins of power with a vision that would reshape Egypt for generations. Through military might, administrative genius, and architectural ambition, he established the 12th dynasty, a period that would be remembered as the Middle Kingdom, a golden age of prosperity and cultural flourishing. Amenemhat I's reforms laid the groundwork for a stable and centralized government, while his construction projects, including the pyramid at Lisht and the capital Ichtai, served as lasting symbols of his reign. Despite the dangers and challenges he faced, including the constant threat of betrayal within the royal court, he managed to secure his dynasty's future through the careful appointment of his son, Senusret I, as co-regent. Even in death, his influence persisted, with his legacy celebrated through texts like the Instruction of Amenemhat, which offered wisdom to future rulers. Yet, the mysteries surrounding his rise, reign, and assassination only add to the allure of his story, making him a figure of endless fascination. Amenemhat I's life was a testament to the power of resilience, vision, and determination. He was a ruler who not only rebuilt Egypt but also redefined what it meant to be a pharaoh, leaving behind a legacy that would inspire and guide future generations. His story is a reminder that even in the face of adversity, greatness can be achieved, and a new dawn can rise from the ashes of the past.